Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube, you know me as Epic Fantasy, and this is episode 8 of my Medieval America series, where I travel all across the country, visiting medieval sites like castles, blacksmiths, meaderies, and much, much more. And in this episode, we go into Canada, to a place called Thack Ironworks. And let's take a look at another map here, just to get a sense. It's last episode we were in Niagara Falls. I crossed into the border to a place west of Toronto and north of Kitchener to Thack. So I get to the border, and of the American border on the American side, and everything was fine. They let me through. As long as you pay your toll, you're good, right? But then I had some trouble on the other side, and this happens to me a lot. I think maybe I look like trouble, but customs border agents stopped me on the Canadian side and said, well, those words I've heard many times before, is pull over, right? So I had to get out of my car and go into customs and all of that. It happens to me. I guess I just look like I should be pulled over. But after about an hour being detained, I was on my way into Canada. And what started out as a 2 to 2.5 hour drive by my GPS ended up to take me 6 hours to finally get to where I was going. I felt like I was in the 19th century because my GPS went out on me, and my cell phone went out on me shortly into Canada. So I was flying blind. I had to get myself some paper maps. I was stopping everywhere and asking people for directions. And this footage here of this horses and buggies in Canada. I thought you'd like this. But anyway, I was on my way, and I eventually made it to Thack Ironworks. And you're going to be surprised by this. This guy's really got it all together. He's living the life. He's combining fantasy and blacksmithing, based on his love of fantasy writers and heavy metal music, and so he's making a living doing that. And in this video, which is part one of 2, we're going to take a look around the shop. He's going to show us a few things, show us how he makes a living and some of the stuff he works on. And in part 2, we're going to do an interview with him. So I think you really like this. If you're interested in blacksmithing and medieval stuff in general, you'll like this. But if you're considering a career in blacksmithing, you're going to find some interesting things here that may be of use to you as to how a blacksmith makes a living.
Welcome. I'm Rob. I'm Blacksmith. They call me Thack, and this is my shop. And I'm going to take you in, show you what the guys are doing. So come on.
Look at that door. Hold on, watch this. What medieval door? Go ahead. Yeah, do it. What medieval door would be right without that? All right, so before Thack takes us around, let's take a look at a few things there. I wanted to show you the inside of the shop on the first floor. And he's having a lot of stonemason work done. And the stonemason is currently here. And I should have talked to her about making a castle. I missed that opportunity because I am on a quest to make a castle, and I had a stonemason right there, and I didn't interview her. But you can see some of the stonework there that she's done. It's really nice. But here's the shop. And you can see that it is a very gothic, medieval, I guess maybe thrash metal or heavy metal influences that he really likes. And for Thack, it's all about the sculptural aspects of it. That's very important to him. But there's his shop. This is where most of the work gets done here. And that's Fish. He's also a blacksmith. And now what we'll do is we'll turn it over, and Thack's going to walk us around and tell us a little about the shop, and then we'll go upstairs and see a place called the Armory. Pretty fun stuff up there.
So this is the main shop here. This is Ethan. He's an intern, a student, and this is a shield I'm working on, a Greek shield, and he's just pulling the nails out. When I put it's on a wooden form, and I wet the wood, and it gets glued and nailed on, and then the nails got to get pulled out so this piece can come off. So it's about a 5-hour process to put the strips on, and then it's about a 7-hour process for him to pull all the nails out. So that's why I get him to do it, because it sucks.
Right, that's good for you. Yeah, it's good for him.
These are the main forges that we use here for our day-to-day working and also for teaching for the students. So this is kind of the nerve center of the shop. And then over here, watch your footing. So Fish is one of my employees here, and he's working on some hardware that we've been doing for the last week now. And we're just finally getting to the assembly stage. All these components that are forged and fabricated. The pieces were laser cut. We've got pieces that were machined. We've got pieces that are forged, and then we've got things that are TIG welded together. So using all kinds of modern techniques along with very traditional to create this very medieval look. But this is actually out of stainless steel.
Jeez. Wow. How much each one of those weigh?
30 pounds maybe?
Yeah.
That's nice.
The door itself is
door.
it's like a
Is
12-foot
it?
double door, like a cathedral style door. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's something.
Yeah, look at that. So, modern materials and modern techniques, but you've really got a really good medieval look.
Yeah, and that's what
Right?
we're doing. But the reality of the fantasy is that we're forging all this stuff up. The reality
Right.
is to make a lot of this stuff, we use technology wherever we can to bring the process, to speed it up, that we can
Sure.
make a profit and actually make with a price point that people will pay for.
Right.
So
Sure.
we're not sacrificing the look or the effect
yeah.
or the feel of it.
Or the quality of it.
Technology can be used to make something that still
Right.
has that really nice feel to it.
All right, so next, Rob is going to take us upstairs to a place called the Armory, and this is where he stores his the various things that he's made. And look, before we go, look at the grade to the dungeon. It even has spikes on it, right? He's really setting this place up. He's working on it. It's coming along really nice to turn the place into a very medieval. The whole building very medieval. Like, look at that door. Isn't that beautiful? And so this is the armor upstairs, and this is the armory. Right, where he stores all the weapons and things. And this stuff is, he sells stuff and he rents stuff out for movies, commercials, television, and he's made a business of blacksmithing in a lot of different ways. His collection of books. But for me, the one thing I thought about when I looked at this room is that it appears to me like as if there was a battle. And the weary warriors came came back to the lodge after the battle and laid all their weapons down and took all their armor off. And now they're preparing for a feast after a victorious battle. That's the impression that I got. Look, but there's some things. Is that a trident and a man catcher or a witch catcher, right? Isn't that something? But it's interesting. We'll talk to Thak a little bit here, and I'll get back with you.
But you can get the effect of all the stuff that I've got in this accumulation of armor that I've made over the last 30 years since my career.
No kidding.
And this is stuff that gets rented out for commercials and
Right.
weddings and
Right.
TV shows or whatever.
Look at this one. Centuries of helmets.
Yeah, basically,
And
I've done everything.
continents.
Like I do, like ancient Greece, I like that, ancient Rome, and then all through the medieval Dark Ages as well. And so, I like to experiment in a lot of different.
Yeah, that shield, that's ancient Greece, right downstairs that Ethan's working on?
Yeah.
Ancient Greece, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the man catcher. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
I think
it's called a man catcher, also called a witch catcher.
a witch catcher.
Yeah.
That's
It's
just
fairly obvious what it's used for.
right. It sure is. That's just saying it. You don't see them. You just don't see them. And of course, a scudum, right? Is that a scudum? I think that's a scudum. Is that called right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. So if you need some armor or weapons or something for a film or TV or something, this is where you come to get them because they're real.
Yeah. And then, I do a lot of historical stuff, but I'm really known for fantasy.
Yeah.
There's a cutlass. My version of what a pirate cutlass would be, and I always just think for a basket hilt, a skull, the shape of a skull just lends itself so your hand can just fit right in there, and then it's like it's made. That shape is made for it. So
right. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, that's unique.
And I like the band Exploited, so that's where that idea came from.
Okay, so this video is running a little bit long. And it is part 1 of 2. And in the second one, we're going to interview Rob. But let's take a look first around a little bit here at the Armory. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what he does. And I'll show you some pictures of some of his work. His website is thak.ca, so that's thak.ca. If you want to learn more, if you want to have some custom work done, or if you need work done for film, because he's done work for television, for commercials, for movies, and he's done high-end blacksmithing work, really a strong sculptural aspect to what he does. It's very important to him, the sculpture of it, the art of it, and the shape and form of it. And so I wanted to say thanks to Rob for having me for the afternoon, and to his stonemason. I want to thank her. Thanks to Ethan for interviewing, and thanks to Fish, the other blacksmith, for interviewing. There's more of that about these folks coming in the second part, where I interview Rob and ask him a bunch of questions about blacksmithing and what he does. So we'll take just a quick little snippet of that here. You've seen over the past 30 years, you've seen blacksmithing has changed, and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's come a long way.
It's the backlash to the culture that we're in, that consumer culture, the technology. People want to feel empowered again. They want to, make stuff by themselves with their hands. So a lot of people are getting into blacksmithing because you can see the process and you can make it, and it's such an empowering thing to actually make something from scratch like that.
Okay, thanks for watching this episode of Medieval America, where I travel around the country seeking out medieval things like blacksmiths, meaderies, and of course castles. Here's a couple of more videos you might like to watch.